Hi everyone, this is a tutorial for Lab 1, EG1230. At the start, I'd like to remind you that this is intended as help to expedite your learning process, but to emphasize that grading will be based primarily on the written instructions. So make sure that you go through the written instructions and use it as a checklist. Okay, first of all, you need to start AutoCAD Electrical 2014, and we'll start the process from the very beginning. You need to start a new file, choose ACAD ISO, open, and we need to do some cleaning up. Make sure that you can see the model layout 1, layout 2 tabs. If you don't, you need to right click and then go to options, and when this window appears you need to go to the display tab. Make sure that this line is checked. It says display layout and model tabs. Just to demonstrate, if I uncheck it and click apply, they will disappear, and when I check it again and then click apply, they will reappear again. So this is how to get these tabs out if they happen to disappear in subsequent labs. Next, we need to get rid of this layout 2. We don't need 2 layouts for lab 1, so we're just going to say we're going to choose the tab and then right click, choose delete, and OK. Let's go back to model space and let's get rid of the navigation view cube and the navigation bar. So to get rid of the navigation view cube, we write NAVV cube space off, enter. If you want to get it back for any reason, we're not needed for this course because, as I said in class, this is a strictly 2D course, while the software is capable of doing 3D drawings as well. So if I say nav cube on, it will appear again. So this is how to turn it on and off. So nav double V for navigation view cube space off, and the navigation bar is nav bar 1V space bar off. Again, if you want it back on, it's a very good tool if you're going to use AutoCAD for on your laptop. If you're going to use AutoCAD with a computer that does not use a mouse with a wheel, it's a good idea to use the nav bar. Next thing, if you see the project manager, place your cursor on this gray bar or title bar and then click on the X. Of course, we won't use it for a while, but then when we start using projects, we'll come back to it. And this is how to get it back on from the quick launch menu. You click it, it appears, click the X, it disappears. Okay, and we are ready to start. Make sure that your template is correct. You can check that by going to the application menu, drawing utilities, units, and make sure it says millimeters here. Okay, we're working in metric units in this lab. So first thing, I need to do a circle with the center at 200 and 200. So I would click once on the circle command with a center and radius information. So click once, and always notice what the command window is saying. AutoCAD is asking you for the center point for the circle. So you just type 200, 200, enter, and then it's now asking you to specify the radius of the circle, which is 50 millimeters or 5 centimeters. But again, the template is in millimeters, so we have to give all our coordinates in millimeters. So enter. Of course, you don't see the circle, so we need to double click on the wheel to bring it into focus. Again, a quick reminder, remember these mode buttons at the bottom. These should be turned to text because they're easier to read. Turn all of them off except grid and object snap. Anything that's in blue, it means the mode is active. Anything which is gray, it means the mode is inactive. So if you right click and you go to use icons, it's unchecked now, that's why I see text. But if I click it, I will see icons. So again, going back, right click on any button and then click on use icons. Now you see text. Make sure you turn everything off except grid and object snap. The first time you click on object snap, it will come up with this window. You can choose the first three for now and leave the others out. We will learn as we go along what the others can be used for. And press OK, and you're on your way. Sometimes, if the circle does not look smooth, you can type regen, which is short for regenerate drawing, and that smooths out your circle. Okay, let's do the rectangle. Click the rectangle command. Now the left lower corner is at 200,65. Enter. The other corner we're going to use relative rectangular, so we're going to say at 100, which is 10 centimeters, 50. Enter, and that is done for the rectangle. For the equilateral triangle, we're going to use the line command. The first lower left corner is at absolute rectangular coordinates 110,65. Enter, and then we're going to use relative rectangular at 50,0. That gives us the first side. And then we're going to use relative polar at 50 angle, which is the symbol less than 120 degrees. Enter. And then we're just going to say C for close. Enter. And that's it. We are done with the equilateral triangle. Now I'm ready to do the dimensions and text. So I'll go annotation. This is where you set the text style. This is where you set the dimensions style. Let's choose annotative here and choose annotative, meaning they are currently active. And we go to text style. When this appears, make sure this is checked. And let's use 5 for 5 millimeters. Then apply, close. And we're going to go to dimensions or dimension style, and then click on that icon and then go modify. Here we're going to say arrow size 5. Text size is also 5. Just highlight it, or you can use the up and down arrow. It's easier to use the highlight and just press on 5. And then we go primary units. I want only 1 decimal precision. I want a period for decimal separator, suffix space cm for centimeters. Scale factor is 0.1 because I want to convert millimeters to centimeters. And here, don't suppress trailing zeros. So if this is checked, any trailing zero like 5.0, you won't see the 0.0. It will just be 5. But if we uncheck this, when there is 5.0, the 0.0 will still be displayed. And that's it. We'll just say OK, close, and now we're ready to put dimensions. So let's start with linear. It says 1:1. Yes, I want my scale to be 1:1 for this slab. We'll just say OK. And OK, now we're beginning to see the object snap. This is little square here is an end snap. So click once, click at the other end, and then I don't want to put it away from the rectangle. I want it to be right on top of the rectangle, so I will use again the snap to snap it right on the rectangle side itself, and click it again. Let's do the other side, bottom, and be very careful with the other side here. If you catch this or that, your measurement will be wrong. So make sure you're right in the correct place. And then let's click again. And there is my measurement. For the circle, we're going to use the drop-down menu and go radius. And then notice the mouse icon has changed to a square. Go right on top of any place on the circle and then click it. This appears, and then you can place this wherever you want. Click whenever you want to place it. Let's do the triangle. I need to use aligned. So we'll go snap to the first, snap to the second point, and still snap on the line itself. Okay, let's do now an angle. So press the first side of the angle, second side, and notice what happens here. AutoCAD, if it does not have enough space inside the rectangle to place the text, it will put it outside. But if you move out a little bit, it will place it inside. But of course, now we have this CM that we don't want to have appear because it has no sense. So we choose, again, you move your mouse until you see the dimension highlighted, and then click your mouse and then go to Properties panel under the Home tab. Remember, this is called the ribbon. Every tab has its own ribbon, and every ribbon has panels. So this is the Home tab. This is the ribbon for the Home tab. These are the panels. Okay, we're going to go to the Properties panel, and there is this arrow that's pointing to the lower right. We click it, and we get this window appearing. Scroll down until you see primary units, and you see this CM deleted. Click anywhere, and you'll see that the CM disappears. The CM did not disappear in others. We just changed the properties of this one dimension. Okay, now let's do the text. So I click on multi-line text, and then come down here below, open a rectangle. Of course, if you read the instructions, you need to put your name. Okay, make sure this is active. Name and ID. Right, enter. College of the North Atlantic. Qatar. EG1230. Electrical and Instrumentation CAD. Lab 1. Submission date, and then let's go tab a few times, then instructor sign off, colon, and then underline, and that should be okay. Maybe if that needs to be corrected for any reason, just double click it and off you go. I need to pull this back so that it doesn't go too far beyond the side of the of this rectangle. You can adjust the size of the text window by clicking on this. Notice when I put my mouse right on top of this, it changes to a double-sided arrow. This is where I can click and then start moving left and right. Okay, we are ready to set the page. So we go to the Layout 1, right click, go Page Setup Manager, Modify, choose your printer correctly. This is my printer where I am recording this tutorial. And then make sure it's A4, it's portrait, and leave this scale as it is. And then we'll say OK, close. Now I need to adjust the viewport. Notice when I move my mouse, as soon as it reaches the perimeter of the viewport, it is highlighted. And then I click it I get 4 handles. Let's take this handle and then bring it to this corner, zoom in a couple of times, and then place the corner right inside the dotted line. So we want the frame to appear. Let's click again, take this handle in the opposite corner, again zoom in, place it right inside. Double click the wheel, and notice I am in paper space now, in paper space. So when I double click the mouse wheel, I am zooming the extents of the paper. If I click on this mode button, it will change to model. Now I'm in model space. So if I double click the wheel, it is zooming in or zooming extent of my available objects. So now I need to set my scale to 1 to 1 and then lock the scale so that I don't lose it, because if it is not locked like this and I zoom in and zoom out, I think I'm back to where I was, but the scale has been lost. Remember, you're going to print and measure your drawing, so you have to set this to 1 to 1 and then lock the scale. Let's get rid of the grid. Notice the grid is referring to the grid inside the model space when I am in model space. So when I saw a grid, it disappears, but if I go back to paper space, hit grid, this is the entire grid in the paper space. That's not what I want. So again, turn it off. Let's go back to model space. Let's get rid of the navigation cube in the same way as we did before. NAVV cube off. If you see navigation bar, it's the same thing. If you want to get rid of these X and Y symbol, this is called UCS icon off. Okay, and make sure you save your drawing. Now, if you want to print, you go to this quick launch command, which is plot, or you can use the application menu, print, and then again plot. So should always preview before you physically print. So preview. This is how it's going to look. You can hit on this and print it, and off you go. Okay, it's now printing, and that concludes the tutorial. Good luck, and make sure you do this a good number of times. And when you're ready, let me know in the lab, and you will demonstrate your skills.